Okay, guys. So first thing first today, right? So what I want you all to do, right? You are going to do some simple things basically, which will feel now very simple, but they are going to be very, very important. Okay. So the first thing is basically the folder structure. So what I want you all to do is either on C or on D drive, whatever drive you have on your laptop, right? Any one drive, choose any one drive, okay? And in that drive, create one folder of talent, okay? So everything that we are going to do starting from today till the last class, right? Last class as in the real world project and everything when it's done, right? I want you to create proper folder structures in this particular folder, okay? Everything should go inside this only. Let's say input, let's say output, whatever, right? Let's say the copy, export, client folder, blah, blah, whatever I'm going to tell you, right? Everything should go into this one single folder. Everyone getting that point? Yes or no?
Yeah,
Yes,
sir.
I got it.
Okay. Because this seems very silly right now or very little right now, but later on, right, when you go back to see the videos or anything that you try to understand after some point of time, this becomes very important. Okay. So a folder structure needs to be maintained. I will let you know when to create what and how to create what. Like, okay, this time now create the input folder, now create the output folder, create your own files and all of that. I'll let you know, but everything should be there in this one single folder. Okay, inside talent folder you're going to create all the different folders. Okay, so now let's get started with talent. Actually my talent is also inside this talent folder. Okay, your talent would be in a different folder, but it's fine. I have placed my talent also in this folder. That's something that I did, but it's okay. Even if you don't have it, it's fine. Okay, everyone will have in their talent folder an application like this. Okay, this is the application that we have to run when you have to run the talent. Okay, so this, since this is the first time, I'll run it and show you. From tomorrow I will keep this talent open because it takes some time, right? So all you need to do is just double click on this, right? And then it is going to slowly show up. Talent for the first time or whenever you open it, right? It takes few seconds or minutes to open basically, because there is background application that runs and everything happens. So just give it a minute. It's usually faster than this. It's really slow. Okay, yeah. So this came up, right? So this came up to me because I already had a project. Okay. But in your case, right, you are not going to get this directly. You are going to get this kind of an option, like create a new project kind of thing. Okay. But I want you to explain first what is the project and all. So just give me 1 second. So I'll first try to explain you what is the project and everything. Just give me 1 quick second. Okay. So are you able to see my screen? Notepad here?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So these are the three things now that you need to try to remember. Okay. So what I've done is, for simplicity, I'm giving you example of a laptop. Okay. So let's say you have a laptop. Within the laptop, you have drives, right? C, D, E drive, right? And within each drive, you have files and folders. Everyone knows this or no? I believe at least everyone should know this. Yes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like in your laptop, you have drives. So drives are nothing but like this, right? So if you go to your machine, like I right now only have one drive. You might have two drives or three drives, right? C drive, D drive, E drive, whatever it might be, right? So that is nothing but your drives. And then inside those drives, you have your folders and files, correct? So let's say if I open this, I have my folders, and inside those folders, I have my files. Okay. So in Talent also, the structure is, or the hierarchy is kind of the same, but the names are different. Okay. So what comes first is workspace. Okay. So there is a workspace that you create while you set up your Talent. So let's say this is the first time I'm setting up my Talent, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to manage connections first. Okay, before even creating the project, right? I'm going to go to manage connections first, and then I'm going to set up my workspace here. Okay, so first of all, what you change, you are going to change is you're going to change the email address. So why we do this, I'll explain you. I mean, you can keep whatever you want because this is no one is going to check it. What I do is here you get, I think, user@talent.com. I just give their Tyagi or whatever your name is. Okay, so because once you do that, you will be able to see whatever your details. Okay, so just give here Tyagi or whatever your name @. And then what I want you to do is within your Talent folder, right? Just create a workspace folder. So let's say I have multiple workspaces here. I'll just delete them for now because for every batch I create one. Okay, so what you can do is just create one folder, right? And just say workspace. Let's say this batch is 28th, right? So I'll just say workspace 28. Okay. This folder I want you to create inside Talent only, guys. Okay. Now everything that I want you to do is going to be inside Talent folder. Wherever you want to create it, go ahead and create it. Mine is in C drive because I have only one. Okay. So this Talent workspace 28 is now my workspace. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here inside my Talent and I will browse that particular folder. Okay. So I'll go to Talent. I'll go to that particular folder and I'll give that folder to this. Okay. I'll say select folder. Fine. So now what I've done is I have set up my workspace. So once you set up your workspace, you click on OK. It is going to ask you to restart. So just restart it. Okay, this thing you're going to do only once, guys. This is for the first time that you're setting up your environment. Okay, so that's why you do it. So now if you see, right, it is going to give me this pop-up. So this pop-up is going to come for you when you open the Talent for the first time. Okay, manage connection will be returned here instead of how it was earlier, right? So you just click on this and you change your details, whatever you want to. Now it is same, so I am not going to change. I'll just cancel it, right? And then you're going to create the project for the first time, right? So you can give the project name like right now, the project is training, let's say, so I'll just say training 28. You can give whatever name you want. Now, if you understand the analogy, right? So what happens within a laptop, you can have multiple drives, correct? Yes or no? Within your laptop, you can have 2 drives, 3 drives also, right? So same way, within a workspace, you can have multiple projects. Okay. So right now, let's say I am creating one project, right? Later on, if I want to create another project, right? I can create that same project, another project within the workspace. Okay. It works in the same analogy, like within a laptop, you can have multiple drives. Same way, within one workspace, you can have multiple projects. Everyone clear till here?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so that's how you can create multiple projects. I'll show this how to create another project tomorrow. Okay, for now we'll create only one project. Okay, within the same workspace, we are going to create tomorrow another project also. Fine. Now within a project, you can have multiple jobs. Right, it's same way. Like within C drive, I can have multiple or n number of files and folders. Right. So same way within one project, you can have multiple jobs. What we try to do is, let's say we try to say C drive will have all the system files and system jobs, right? D drive will have, let's say, all my games and everything. E drive, let's say, has all my personal stuff, my movies and collection and whatnot, right? So people try to split their drives in that way, right? Earlier we used to do that. Nowadays it's all cloud, but yeah, still people still try to do that. Okay. The same way, we create multiple projects. So let's say you right now you are in TCS project. So you are going to make a project name like TCS, right? Let's say tomorrow you are in some different project. So you are going to give that different project name, right? So it depends on what project you are working on so that your work is segregated. You're not mixing your work up because there is one way, right? You can create one project and put all the jobs inside that. That is also one way of doing it. but that's not the correct way of doing it. Okay, so that's why what you can do is within one workspace, you can create multiple projects and then keep your jobs inside that. So for our training purpose, we are going to create one project for training and then a different project for real work. Okay, so that you can get the experiences of keeping two different projects also. Clear, everyone? Any questions, any doubts still here for workspace projects and jobs?
No.
No? Okay, so let's just go ahead and let's create this. So once I do this and if I click on finish, right, it is going to create some files and folders for me. So if you see this, right, this folder was created by me right now, a blank folder, right? So when I just gave this as training 28, right, I gave the training 28 name here basically, right? Here I gave that training 28. So it is automatically starting to create all the things that are needed for training 28. Okay, so as many projects as you create, that many folders you are going to get here. So don't ever touch anything within this folder, guys. Okay, don't delete any file or anything within the workspace folder. Because if you mess up one thing, right, that means what all can go wrong, you also will not be aware. Okay, see, now it created this also, right? It is now creating all its dependent files inside this folder. Okay, so this is now your workspace. So everything that you are going to do is kind of going to go inside this. See, now it created temp also. So it's slowly and steadily creating all the supporting things that are needed. And then my talent will open up. If you see now my talent had opened up. Okay, guys, everyone clear how to open talent? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Clear? Okay. So now let's quickly do a studio tour along with how talent gives it. Okay. So when you open the talent for the first time, right, it gives you a kind of a studio tour. Okay. So we will also take that same tour. So for the first thing that they try to teach you is nothing but repository. Okay. So repository is nothing but it's just the collection of jobs and metadata. So jobs you already know. So one job is what? Let's say one job is nothing but taking the data from somewhere and putting it into somewhere. Okay, that's one job. Now to do that, to take the data from somewhere, you need the connection details, right? So that connection details are nothing but the metadata. Okay, and where you want to keep the data, that again is another different connection details. That is also nothing but a metadata. So basically what you do is you have within a repository all the jobs like this, right? Then you have dependent code, dependent metadata and what. Okay, so that all stays under your repository. So if you see, right, this is a local repository because it is on my machine, right? The project name is nothing but training 28, right? That's what you see here and that same thing you see here. This is an open studio, so that's why you see here an open studio. Okay, so just by looking at this screen, you will be able to tell that is it an enterprise version of talent or an open studio version of talent. Okay, so repository is a place where you have your jobs and metadata. Everyone clear with this piece? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is your repository section. Now, if we move on, what we have next is design workspace. Okay, now what is design workspace? Design workspace is like your whiteboard. Okay, where you are actually going to create your job. So if I mean, I hope all of you have seen the demo lecture. So when we saw the demo lecture, right? So from this palette section, we were dragging and dropping the components here on the screen, and then we were connecting them or whatnot, right? Whatever we wanted to do, all those things were done at this space, right? So all the connections, all the settings, right? Whatever we wanted to do, that were done here. This is nothing but your whiteboard, you can say, or a workspace where you are going to drag and drop all the components from the palette section, and then you are able to connect or do whatever you want to do in your job. Okay, this is nothing but your designer workspace. Okay, so I'll just quickly move on. The next one that you see here is nothing but the configuration tab. Okay, so configuration tab is nothing but configuration, right? Means setting up things. So when you open up a new smartphone, let's say you buy a new smartphone, right? for the first time, you have to do all the settings, right? That you have to give your email ID, then you have to connect it to Wi-Fi, then it will download applications and all on whatnot, right? So that is nothing but the configurations. So in Talent, what you do, you have different sets of configurations. So first is this job section. It will tell you about what is the job, who is the creator of the job. If you see, right, now it's showing me that author. That's why I want to give your name there so that you can see, okay, this job is created by who. Okay, it will give you the job name, the purpose of the job and everything. Then you have the context section, then you have the component section. This section is very important. This is something that we are all going to learn a lot, right? Because whatever fill in the blanks or setting that you have to do for any component, right, that you are going to do here in this component section. Okay, and then finally the run tab where you are going to run the job. So this is all related to running of your job and setting up of your job. Okay, so this is nothing but your configuration tab, right? So you can click on any one and then you can do that configuration. I'll show you once this tour is over. Okay, now the I think this is the final piece here. So the final piece here is nothing but the palette. The palette is nothing but like all the list of components that you can use within your job, right? So let's say if I want some file related components, I'll come here, right? If I want some database related component, I'll come here. Let's say I want some big data related components, I'll come here. Cloud will come here. Custom code will come here, right? Processing components will come here. Technical components will come here. I want logs and error components, so that will come here. So all the list of component is here. Basically, whatever you want to do, you are going to find the component here. You can do it on the search bar also. I'll show you that. Here you can search the component name by just giving one line or one word, right? And it will try to match it with whatever components that are there out there. Okay. So this is nothing but your palette section. Okay, palette is nothing but that coloring plate, right? It's called palette. So to fill in the colors to your job, you are going to use components. So that's why it's just called palette. Okay. So with this, the tour is over, right? Now we will just get started. And one quick thing I'll explain you is this part. Okay, so this part is called the outline part. This does not come in the tour, but this is again very important part. So this part will have all your component names, whatever are there in your job. If you see this job, right, this is a simple onboarding job. So here you have one component and second component, right? So same way, whatever components that you have here, those will be here. And then for these components, right, each of these components will have its own variables. If you see, both of these components have their own variables of error message and number of lines. So we are going to learn all of these a lot. Okay, there are many components which just work for these variables that you get from here. Okay, they help you to automate your job a lot. So we are going to understand all of that from this outline section. Okay, so this is a basic tour of your job. So if you see, this is the context section, this is the component section. Component section will be blank until you click on this. Okay, once you click on a component, the component section for that particular component will open up. Okay, so if I click on this, see, there is a different view. If I click on this, there is a different view. For each component, the view is a bit clear. And then finally, this is the run tab where you are going to actually run your job. Clear everyone till here? Anyone, any doubt? Any doubt guys still here?
What are you clear?
No? Okay, cool. So this is the first job that you automatically get when you open up your new talent. Okay, so this is something that talent guys create and give it to you. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to create our own job. But okay, there is one more thing that I wanted to show you. So these are now the basic settings. Okay, guys. So everywhere you will see plus and minus sign, right? Everyone, you can see this, right? Plus and minus. Here also plus and minus. Here also plus and minus. Here also plus and minus. Okay. If you click on this plus, it is going to take the maximum space that it can. Okay. If you click on this minus, it is going to come back or just reduce to the maximum that is possible. Now, if you see that, okay, where it has went here. Okay. If I click on this, it will again restore. Right. So for everything, I can do a minus and it will go and attach to the sides. Basically, if you see, right here, it has attached. If I do a minus, that also has attached here. Right. So if you see now, this is like your plain window. Right. If I want to bring things back, I'll bring this back. I will bring this back. I can bring this back. I can bring this back. Everyone understanding this setting? Because many of you, right, will do something and then it will be gone. So you won't be able to bring it back. Okay. I hope you understood that piece, plus and minus this one. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. If you double click on the job, it will automatically be in full screen mode. Right. If you double click on it again, it will come back. If you double click on component, it will be in full screen mode. If you again double click, it will come back to normal. Okay. Now let's say by any chance you have removed the palette. You have closed it. Okay. So it will come like this in a small way. If you want it back again, like this, you can hide it and you can have it. So some people prefer it this way also. They don't want a separate palette section. Let's say by chance you have deleted this, you have deleted this. I mean, everything you have deleted by some chance. Okay, that you have deleted the repository itself. You have deleted the outline also, right? And you have deleted the code viewer. If you have done this, now you are in a big trouble, right? You don't know how to get it back, right? So the easiest way to do it is everyone able to see this small here, this small thing, this one, this box here. Yes or no? Guys, can you see
Yes.
this small box? Yes, right?
Yes.
So you will right click on it and there is an option for reset. Okay, just click on reset and just say reset perspective. So wherever you are stuck, whatever you might have removed, if you click on that, right, it will again come back to its normal state. You're getting that point, guys? Everyone? Whatever you want to delete, delete by any chance or by mistake or however you do that, right? Everything if you have deleted basically, right? If you want to get things back, the easiest way is just come here, right click on the small one and reset perspective. Okay. So this thing, guys, I'm teaching you on the first class because I know this is very important. You will still forget and you will still ask me after 2 3 days. I know that someone will remove something from somewhere and then they will ask you. But I hope you just remember this part. Okay, this is the part. This section is what is going to help you in such scenarios. Clear for everyone till here? Anyone, any questions? No? Okay, cool. So now I'll quickly show you the code section also. So there is a code section here. I mean, but this code section is something that you actually cannot change anything in that. Okay. It's just the basic Java code that has been written behind, right? It just shows you that. Okay, you cannot change anything. If I click here and try backspace also, right? It is not going to work. This is just to show you that how powerful Talent is and what big code it has written in the backend to do the task that you're trying to make it do from the designer. Okay, so whatever you change from here, right, it is going to show you on the screen. Okay, so mostly we just use to debug. That's it. We don't use this code section ever. I mean, we cannot, I cannot understand also what is written here many of the times because I don't know Java, right? So if someone knows Java, then yeah, it might be helpful for them. But if someone does not know Java, this is just for debug. Okay. When you do something, a logical error in the job, right? You can come to code and you will get a red line here. So you can understand from that red line, oh, something is wrong that you have done, and then you can fix that. Okay. So right now there are no errors, so you don't get any red lines. You just get these warnings. These are warnings, so warnings are fine, right? But yeah. This is the way that you can do it. Okay. Now, few of you, right, are going to make this mistake also. This toggle sub job, right? You are going to click on this, and that box is going to go up. And then you are going to ask me that, okay, now in my job I don't see that boxes that I see in your jobs, right? This is that switch. If you click on this, you'll get that back. If you don't click on it and then unclick it, it is going to go up. Okay. If you want to see the job in a more zoomed view, you can change the size of it. If you want to unzoom it, you can unzoom it. So it depends on how you want it. I always try to prefer and keep it at 100%. Okay, guys. Everyone clear with this? Yes, no?
Okay, sir. So actually in my system, it is not showing palette is not available.
Palette is not available because the job is not open. If I close my job, palette is not available.
Mhm.
If you don't have the job open, what are you going to put from palette, right? So first thing is always to open the job. Okay. And again, I would request don't do things right now with me. Okay, or else you won't be able to focus or pay attention on the little things that I am trying to teach you. Okay. So do the things, I mean, when you get the YouTube video out, right? Try to do
Yes, sir.
those things at that time. Okay, not now. So if you see, right, few things have gone from here. Now you cannot do that 100% at everything because the job is not open. Okay, so if the job is not open, then you won't have the sections. Palette is not there. This is also not there. Nothing is there. Okay. For that, you will have to create the job. So I'm going to create now the first job that we are going to do. I'll just go here, create job. Okay. So create job, I'm going to, let's say this is my first job. Okay, so I'm going to create my first job. Okay, what is the purpose of this job? Uh, just print out my name. Okay, what is the purpose of my job? I'm just going to print out my name. What is the description? I'm going to use the message box to print out my name in the output. Right, so you can give the description and purpose if you want to. It is like a best practice to do, but most people they don't do it. Even I, right, myself, when I'm going to teach you in the training classes, I'm not going to put all of these because it takes time, right? And sometimes the time is the problem. So I'm just going to help you understand that yes, you can do it this way, right? You can give the purpose, you can give the description and everything, right? But it's on you if you want to do it or if you don't want to do it. But yes, it is a best practice to give these things in detail. Okay, I'll just say finish, and now my job is open. Okay, so once your job is open, you are going to get the palette and everything also. Okay, guys, without the job opening, you are not going to get all of these things. Clear, everyone, this piece?
Clear, sir.
Yes. Okay. So now let's get started. So the first thing that I'm going to teach you is how to find a component. So as I told you, right, I'm going to use the message component, the message box. That's the component. So, but I'll just say, okay, I know something that, okay, I heard some component name from Taggy sir, what was something related to message. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and try to find message. If I click on message here, it is going to show me all the components which are related to message. Okay, so if you see, right, this is the message box component. So you can drag this and drop it here. That component will come here. Okay. If you want to find the component not here, there is another way of doing it. What is the other way? The other way is you come here on the designer itself, click anywhere and just start typing it. If you start typing it, right, you are going to find the component that is very similar to that particular name and you can double click on that. That way also you can bring in the components. So these are the two ways with which you can bring the components. Everyone clear with these two ways? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the first way is to find it here. Let's say I want file input, right? I'll just say file input. I'll so it will show you all things related to file input. Okay, let's say if you know the particular name, I can click here directly on the designer, right? And I can say, let's say Excel, right? I want Excel. So it will show me both the things related to Excel, input also and output also, right? So whichever I want, I can choose that. I hope it is clear how to get a component
It's
for
right click,
everyone.
sir.
Sorry.
Right click on the design.
No, just click anywhere on the designer. That's it.
Okay.
Just simple one click on the designer, and then you can give whatever name or whatever you want.
Okay.
Okay, just start typing whatever you want, and then it will show you. So now delimited, right? So there are these many which are related to delimited. So let's say I want input file delimited. So this is the component that I can choose. Okay. If you want to delete a component, just press delete key by clicking on the component. Just click on the component and delete. And when you click on the component, right, guys, don't click on this outer box. Always click on this icon. Okay. Always click on that icon, then only things will show up. Because see, if I click on this box, right, the component shows something different. But when I click on that box, it shows me the exact details of that particular component. So always click on those component icons and not the outer box. Okay. If you want to delete, you can right click and delete also. That's also an option. Let's say I don't want this, or you can just click on it and then on your keyboard, right? Just click delete. Okay. Is it clear for everyone, guys? Yes or no? Come on, guys, say something. This piece is clear, right? How to bring a component. Hello.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, guys. So I hope this piece is clear. Now, a few other things. So whenever you open one job, right, there is going to be this small green lock here. Okay, I'll show you the difference. So this is the job that is not open, right? This job is not open right now, correct? Only one job is open. So if I open this job, you will be able to see a small green lock will come here now, right? So as soon as you open the job in the designer, you are going to get that lock here. Okay. As soon as I close this, see that lock will disappear. Okay, so that means if a job is locked, then I cannot even delete it. I cannot do anything. If I try to delete also, right, it will say the job is locked. You cannot delete it. Okay, so to do any operation, you will have to first close the job. Fine. Now the other thing is this star. Can you see this star here? If I open this job, I won't see a star there. But if I see this job, there is a star. Everyone, are you able to see the star here?
Yes.
Yes. So that star means there are some unsaved changes. Okay. If I just save this from here, then that star is going to go off. Okay. If I just move it here, that means again I move something. I need to save some changes. So that again comes here. So you can do Control S also. So I did now Control S from my keyboard. That also saves the job. Clear everyone this piece? So no.
Yes.
Okay. So now another thing, again, the best practices. I'm going to try to, I mean, see all the best practices, right? I'm telling you today itself so that you can use it going forward also. These are something that people don't actually teach you every day, but yeah, you need to keep these things in mind. Okay. So now whatever is this, this is nothing but the note section, guys. Okay, you can just type note directly here and you're going to get a note. So these notes are nothing but they are not going to do anything. They are like just stickers. Okay, they will just tell you what you are trying to do in this job. Okay, so in this job, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do nothing, just print my name on the console. Oh, sorry, on the message box. Okay, that is what we are going to do here. So I would ask you to keep these stickers in all of your jobs on the top by describing what you are doing in that job. Okay. how that helps you right now is it won't help you today. But whenever, let's say 2 months down the line or 3 months down the line, if you come back to the job, right, you will be able to see, okay, this job is going to help me do that. Right? It becomes easier to understand also. Okay. So just put these notes. We can increase the size of them like simple, like how you do it in PPTs, right? You can increase the size by clicking on this corner button. You can increase this size also, right? By getting that line, right? This size also can be increased. Where you want it, you can do that. If you want it on the left, you can get it on the left, right, center, top, bottom, center, whatever. You can change that. You can bold it. You can color code this differently, right? Whatever color you want, you can change all of that. Right? This box color also you can change. Let's say you want it in some different color, you can do that. All these options are there. Okay, you can make it fancy however you want. Okay, guys. Clear with this note component? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's just come back here. So again, right, this is like your kind of first class of talent. We are not going to do any rocket science here. Okay. So I'll just put here some title and some statement. Okay. So we are going to just put here in the message, let's say Yagi's first job. That's it. Okay. This, if you want, you can change this piece also. So let's say here, right? So I'm just writing this, I'm learning talent. You can keep whatever you want, right? Whatever you want to print, you can print that here. Right? For now, we are going to use the OK button only, right? I'm going to teach you all the other buttons in some later classes. But as for the first class, right? No coding, nothing. You just need to keep this in double quotes, guys. Okay, that is important. Now, these little things, guys, right? These are important because all this is now technical, right? Talent is a technical tool. So when things come to technical, right? Even your single quote and double quote, right? They help a lot. So let's say if I by mistake, I'll show you making an error here, okay? If I not keep this, right? And if I just save the job and try to run it, it will start throwing errors. Let's say if I go to, I'll just run this and I'll show you. Okay, it is showing error. See, it's saying string literal is not properly closed by a double quote. So many a times it very clearly tells you what is wrong. So if I go back and click on OK, right, it is showing me error here. If I don't understand where is the error, right, I can go back to code. Right, here is where the code helps. Can everyone see, right? There is a red mark here. Yes or no? Can you see that, guys? This
Yes.
red here, right? You can come back, click on that red, and now you will see, okay, on this line there is a problem. The problem is string literal is not properly closed by double quotes. It shows you that, okay, this line is the problem. So you cannot change it here again, right? If I want to, you cannot add double quote here. But now you know, okay, which component is this? This is the message box one component, right? So I can go back to designer. I can go back to my component and here I can give that double. Once I do that, now this is correct. If I save this job and if I go back to the code, right? That red line will be gone. There is no red line right now. I can come back to designer and if I run this job, it is going to give me that pop-up that I'm needing. If you run it, so if you see, right, see, this is the pop-up that I was looking for. Okay, so I am learning talent that you wrote and Tyagi's first job, right? So whenever you run a job, these three lines are something that you are always going to get this. Okay, these are mandatory lines. They are going to come always in your job. Okay, this is how the talent is designed. It is always going to give you this. So right now the job is still running because I still have that pop-up. Okay, where is my pop-up? Where is my pop-up? Okay, so this pop-up can now move around anywhere. One second to get back my talent also. Okay, now the talent and this pop-up won't stay together. Okay, so I'll just click on OK and end the job. Okay, once I click on OK, the job is going to end for now. So if you see, right, when the job ends, it is going to give me these two lines. So these two lines will come at the end of the job. These three lines will come at the start of the job for all the jobs that we are going to do. Everyone clear with this piece?
Yes.
Anyone, any doubt here? Any doubt, guys? No? Okay. So yeah. So if you want to just run this again, so you can just run this again. Again, it will show you those 3 lines. This pop-up will come. You can keep it anywhere. Well, as soon as you click on OK, the job is going to end and it is going to show you this thing, 2 lines. Okay. Exit code 0 means job is working fine. If it gives any other exit code, that means there is some error in your job. Okay. So this is the job that I want you all to create. Okay. Now I'm also going to teach you how to export and import job. So let's say I have now created this job and I want to send this job to someone else. Okay, so what I'll quickly do here is I'll just give here your name. Okay, I'll just make that change. I'll give here the name. Okay, so I want what are you all to do? I want you all to import this job that I'm going to give you. Okay, and I want you to change your name here and just send me the screenshot. Okay, first you try it on your own, right? Try that out and then you can delete the job and then do it again, whatever. But yeah, so first try this on your own. It's just a simple first job thing that with this I'll come to know that all your talents are set up, right? And then you are able to just pull the components and do things. Okay. So now I'll teach you how to export the job so that you can share it across with your friends. Okay. So the best practice is always to close the job. Right now, this is my job that I want to share with everyone. Okay. So I'll right click on it. I'll have the export option here. Right. So you will click on export. Now within the export section, this is the pop-up that it is going to bring you, right? You are going to click on archive file. Okay. And then you are going to browse the path. So browse the path. Now I'm going to go and in my talent, right? I have created a folder for export. Okay, guys. So what I want you to do for all the exports that you're going to take from today onwards, right? I want you to keep it in the export folder. So within talent, I want you to create an export folder and inside that you are going to keep it. Okay. Now what is my job name? My job name is first underscore job, I think 20 underscore 28, right? This is my job name. So that is the name that I'm going to give here. Okay. And I'll just say save. So in your case, you won't have any files here, guys. So your folder will be blank. You can just do this. Okay. So with this will come here, right? And then export dependencies is something that we have to click always when we try to export something because it helps to take everything along. But right now it's just this job, so it is coming like this only. But later on, all the metadata and everything will also come for all the jobs. I'll explain you when it comes to that. But right now, this is all that you need to do. Okay. So once you do this, you are going to click on finish. Okay. So with this, if you go back to your folder, so if you go to talent folder, if you go to your exports, right, you will be able to get this export. Okay. Now I'm going to send you all this export on the chat. Right. So this is which batch? 28th batch. Okay. So I'm going to give you that export of my job so that you can take the job on your side. Okay. So I'll quickly teach you how to import also. So this is the job, right? I'm sending it to all of you. Okay. So whoever has talent 8, right, and above, basically talent 8.0.1 point, whatever this is, right? If you have talent 8, you will be able to import this job. Okay. If you have talent 7.3, anyone by any chance, if you have installed talent 7.3, right, you will be able to see that here on the top. Then you won't be able to import my job. Okay. Because a 7.3 job will work on talent 8, but talent 8 job will not work on 7.3. Everyone getting that statement? Talent 7.3 job will work on talent 8, but talent 8 job will not work on talent 7.3. Is that clear for everyone? Yes or no? Hello. Can you hear me, guys? Please say yes or no, guys.
Yes.
Okay. So I hope all of you have talent 8. right? Then only you will be able to import this job. Okay. If not, then you won't be able. Right. So now what I'm going to show you is how to import. Okay. So the steps for export are something that I have explained you now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete this job. I'll delete it from here, and then you have to delete it from recycle bin also, guys. Because if you want again something with same name, right? You cannot have it in your recycle bin also. It won't allow you. Because if you try, right? Let's say I'll try. So I'm going to now import. So you click on this job design, the top one, you right click on it and then you say import. So if you say import again, you are going to use the archive file only, second option. You are going to browse, go to this job and say open. If you try to say open, right, it says that, okay, this already exists, right? You have removed it from here. It is there in the recycle bin, but still it won't allow you to do it. Okay. So what you need to do is you have to delete this. So delete it forever. Yes. And now it's gone, right? Now I can do it import. So if I do an import, choose the select archive file, browse, and then choose the file. Okay. So if I choose that, I will be able to see this. I can just do select all and finish. Okay. So if I do that, I will get this job back. Okay. I deleted this job, right? Now I imported it back. Okay, this is the same job that I created. I can just come here, I can change the name. Or whatever I want to. Let's say I want to write this. Right, very excited for my first job. I want to run it. Right, that is what you are going to get. Clear, everyone? Is it clear, guys? Import and export.
Yes.
Anyone, any questions? No questions? Okay. Cool then, guys. So basically that is it for your first class, right? So I want you to create your workspace, right? Create a separate folder in Talent that will be your workspace. Okay. Inside that, you're going to create your first job, right? Inside your jobs, try all those kind of things that I showed you, right? Remove this, minimize this, play around with, okay, play around with the screen, right? Do some stuff here and there, and then try to reset this. Okay, right click on this and reset. Okay, so you'll get everything back. Now, until and unless you open the job, right, your palette and many things will be inactive. Once you open the job, everything will become active. This will become active, this will become active, this will become active, right? So play around with those things, guys, and then you will be able to see things. So here, there is a play button here also. If you want to run the job, you can run it from here, right, like this, and it will again do the same thing as it was doing here. Okay, so that's out there. Now let's say if you have multiple jobs, right, you can search for your job also. So let's say, I mean, if you have multiple, then it becomes easy. So let's say there is this demo job, right? I want to find my demo job. So if I click on demo, and here, right, star or something you can give if you want to, just if you know that, okay, something is there which has demo inside it. So you can use a star before that, and it will show you from the list of jobs that you have. Okay. So now I have done, right, star demo. So onboarding demo job, it is showing me. Whatever job which has demo inside it, it will show me that. Okay. So this way you can search for the jobs from here. Okay, this is the option to search. Right now, I don't have many jobs. I'll just do one thing. I'll import my jobs, all my jobs, so that you can see. So I have an import here somewhere. Let's see if this is the one. I'll just take it. I think it will have many jobs. Yeah, you see, right? It has many jobs and everything inside it. Right. So right now you won't see any folders here. But once I finish this, right? Everything will be here now. You see, my whole project, right? Smart retail project has come in. So all my jobs related to that have come in here. Okay, so this way you can import and export your jobs. You can keep a part of the job with you also. Everyone, you getting this point? Yes or no? How to import and export? Clear?
Yes.
Cool then. So that's it for today. So the assignment for today for you, all of you, is do all of these things that we have done today, right? First thing. And then second thing is just import the job that I've already sent you on your side and put your name and send the screenshot. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to run this job like this. Okay, put your name on this pop-up, right? Take a screenshot like this and send that to me on the group. Okay, I want all of you to do that. Starting first class, everyone should try all the assignments. That's the best if you want to really learn.
Okay.
Okay, fine guys. Cool then. So that's it for today.